All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people here, just like you, and just like me. So, someone sent me a disturbing video of Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood singing at the Carter Memorial Service for Jimmy Carter, the late President Jimmy Carter, who lived to 100 years. All right. And why was it disturbing? Well, because Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, for the second time, I guess now, decided to perform the song Imagine at a funeral. Lots of hope there. The first words of the song, of course, imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. Those are comforting words to hear at a funeral. I mean, hopefully someone read Psalm 23 at some point. Hopefully there was something that gave people, you know, something to hold on to other than imagine there's no heaven. Now, of course, there's that line about no hell below us, only sky above us. And, in verse 2, we get nothing to kill or die for because nothing is really worth dying for these days, right? Think about that. Would you try to protect your child? Wouldn't you die trying to protect your child? Some people might. Others would be afraid to, but most people would attempt to protect their kids from an early death. And of course, the next line is, and no religion too. No religion, no heaven, no hope. Welcome to the Jimmy Carter funeral. And welcome also, I guess, to the Rosalind Carter funeral. So here's the news from PBS NewsHour. Of course, they're covering this. As the U.S. says goodbye to former President Jimmy Carter, you can watch a continuous stream of the many public memorial events dedicated to the 39th president. You can also learn more about his life, including a timeline, his legacy as a humanitarian and statesman. It was a short-lived legacy, wasn't it? As well as how he contributed to public health. I didn't know he had done anything for public health, but anyway. And you can also learn how funerals of former presidents are planned. Apparently, they planned in advance to sing this song. Now, Garth Brooks, who has a fairly extensive music catalog, instead of, doing Imagine, he could have reimagined maybe one of his own songs and performed it for those at the Washington National Cathedral. And it says here again, Brooks and Yearwood performed the same song. So, okay, so they did the same song for both Rosalind and Jimmy Carter. Why not mix it up a little bit? Is this going to be, the song to use for anyone who is a little bit more left of center, that they have to hear this song? This song has creeped me out since I was a kid. I'm just going to be blunt. It's creeped me out. Do I think it's a good song? I think it's a good song, but it still creeps me out. The words, they're supposed to be kind of like this pie in the sky, utopian vision of the world, no need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Well, he chose the wrong word. It shouldn't have been man, or it should have been like a humanhood of people. Imagine, because the next line he says, imagine all the people sharing all the world. We do all share the world right now. An early glimpse at DEI. Apparently Phil Spector was in on that song as well, which I don't know. You could say a lot about Phil Spector. You could say stuff these days about Garth Brooks. I'm not going to go there, though. I'm going to take the high road and pretend I haven't read any of those articles that people have sent me about Garth Brooks recently. Look, Garth has proven that he is a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, dyed in the wool. And most of the country music community is not where he's at. Most. I would say, though, an increasing number of country music people. Now, based on Garth and his new look, I would have to say that Garth Brooks would rather not be just stereotyped as a country music guy. The fact that he would just break out his guitar and do a pop song by a very famous musician. Did they play Imagine at John Lennon's funeral? I don't know. They probably didn't. I think that might be a little tacky to play John's own song at his own funeral. But, you know, if anyone deserved that song, it was John Lennon. Makes more sense. But I guess if you're a Democrat these days, and again, I'm being a little more less harmless. I don't know. One of the two here in this particular video, because this just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. You know, give people a little bit of hope toward the end. Play something. How about Amazing Grace? How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. How about that? That would have been a great song to do. Where's Alan Jackson when you need him? A real country guy. Bring in Alan Jackson. He can do those 2 albums from start to finish. You know, Precious Memories 1 and 2. That would have been more appropriate, at least the way I see things. But, you know, I see things in a weird way. And those of you who are thinking, so what did you expect they were going to perform? Not Imagine. I mean, I guess, you know, everybody was there at this event, by the way. All the former presidents. I saw Trump talking to Obama, and they were yucking it up. I don't know what's going on in the world, people. I think there's too much sunspot activity or something. But in any event, I will provide a link so you can watch this for yourself if you haven't already seen it. You should really watch it. It's educational, much like PBS is supposed to be. So I'll send you the PBS link. So again, you know, you'll give them a ratings point, which they desperately need, and you'll get to see Garth Brooks and his wife just doing justice to the Carter legacy here with the only tune apparently that's appropriate for the late President Jimmy Carter. Anyway, my name is Dave. Thanks for watching. I apologize in advance for this video. God bless everyone. And you know what? Jesus, yeah, he's the reason for every season. And he's the only hope we have in life and in death.